I spit in the faces of people who don't want to be cool. I wear these shades because I want to be cool. You're watching this review because you're cool. I'm doing this review because the show was cool. Okay? So, we have a few things to talk about, don't we? Destination X, which wasn't really the Destination X we are used to, but it still was in a way, and I will get to that later on because there is one guy who made it turn out to be Destination X. So so let's talk about the show. So the show opens up with a Matt Hardy segment where we see it's basically the day after the final deletion. So where we see Matt Hardy kind of like throwing away stuff that belongs to Jeff Hardy, and then you have this drone flying towards Matt Hardy with a T-shirt, a Jeff Hardy T-shirt hanging on it. So he throws away that too. Man, these drones, never a dull moment with these drones. TNA did it first. So if another wrestling company does this thing with drones, then you fucking know where they got it from, alright? And if any other motherfucker wants to say that TNA copies shit and all of that, well then fuck you. Speaking of, I want to give a shout out to Rabbi Sky because she put a few of these WWE cocksuckers on a blast on Twitter. Like, y'all forgetting she's a Hispanic woman. Don't fuck with her, cause you're gonna fucking get it, you know. But anyways. Yeah, so he throws away the stuff and all of that, and yeah, that's how they opened the show, which was great because never a dull moment with these broken Matt Hardy segment. Every Impact show that has a broken Matt Hardy segment automatically is a good show. That's how I'm gonna say it now, because it really is. This whole thing with Matt Hardy is just fucking hilarious. This is definitely one of the highlights of the show, every fucking Matt Hardy segment, because he does it so fucking well, which I never would have expected him to be like this and be able to pull it off, because I keep on saying it, we know Matt Hardy for the same old guy he has always been in WWF, WWE, and in TNA, and now he finally does something different and it's working and it's good. So if you don't like it, well then that's you, okay, because it's fucking great. But after that we have our first match, which is an X Division ladder match for a #1 contender. In the match, DJC, Rockstar Spot, Andrew Everett, Braxton Sutter, Trevor Lee, and Mandrews. Definitely a good way to start the show, get the crowd pumping. Fast-paced match, everyone did their part, but DJC was definitely the whole freaking guy in this match. They really focused on him in this show, in terms of, because he did a lot of fucking stuff, a lot of moves, and which ultimately led him to winning this #1 contender spot. That corkscrew he did was fucking sick, and he has done it a couple of times. He has done a lot of high flying in the past few years back at TNA. He doesn't really do it anymore, which kind of tells you how watered down he has been lately. So I really hope that they are giving him that strong push again, and it seems like they are doing that, because he has really been the focus lately. Okay, but but DJC got the win, but after JB interviewed him, Mike Bennett attacked him from behind. So Mike Bennett grabs the mic and said he promised he's gonna ruin the show. This is just the start, and he will do a lot more later on the show. He's gonna burn TNA to the ground. So that was the first match. Great match. It was a good match. It was a really good match. Definitely enjoyed it. After that, we get a backstage segment with Mackenzie. Fucking cute, holy shit. I like her voice too. With Dixie Carter. Where Dixie talks about next week Impact going back on Thursday, and that also next week is the show will kick off with a BFG playoff series playoff series? Is it the same thing, or is it this one different? Either way, I'm glad they're doing it in a different way. I don't know if it's the series playoffs. I'm a bit confused. Help me out here, but either way, it's gonna be another group thingy. So that's great that they're doing it like that again, because they haven't done it like that the way they used to do it with all the points and such. I think that was a really good concept, and that was better organized, when they did it like that. So I don't know about this whole playoffs things. I don't know if it's the same. I'm still kind of confused if it's the series or the cement playoffs. I don't know, but either way, that's what's gonna happen next week. After that, we have an in-ring segment with Lashley and Eddie Edwards. Basically, have their last talk before their match. Lashley said that Eddie had a lucky shot last week, and that he came out believing that he and the X Division was the heart of Impact Wrestling. It's not. The World Heavyweight title is. The only thing Eddie managed to do is piss Lashley off. And then Eddie says that Lashley doesn't understand the type of guy Eddie is, and that he never backs down from a fight, and sure as hell is not going to tonight. And then he says, if you were pissed off last week, wait till I leave here new heavyweight champion. And then Lashley now says, you really believe you're gonna win? No, you don't. You believe that the Wolves Nation is gonna get behind your back and lead you to victory. It's not gonna happen. The underdog does not win. What's gonna happen is that I'm gonna beat your ass and take your title and this title and be the best freaking wrestler TNA has ever seen, or pro wrestling has ever seen, I think he said. Then Eddie talks about the title and the ring being his life, and then Lashley attacks him from behind. Of course, while doing so, Davey Richards comes out and aids his partner. So Davey Richards is back, and I think a month or two ago I had this theory where Davey Richards might turn heel, and it still might happen, but I'm gonna talk about it later on, where it will make a bit more sense. After that, we have another Matt Hardy segment at his home, where we see him that he has invited a few people, a few children, because he has this sort of like small cinema in his house, which is really cool. Where they watch like scenes from the final deletion. It was really fucking funny to see the expression faces on the killed children, especially. Maxwell was chill as fuck. He was like, what the fuck, that was a really great way. I thought that was really good and nice. I love it when TNA involves the fans and such. And I also liked how, when Rebby came down with Maxwell, she came down just like how the firefighters come down. I thought that was really nice too. Gotta be honest with you, Matt Hardy and Rebby, or Rebecca, that's her real name, I suppose, really do have a beautiful child. Maxwell, this kid is gonna get laid as fuck in his teen years. Definitely, this guy is gonna break hearts. He's gonna be a really good looking kid. But after that, we have a match with Abyss and Bram. The match was okay. It wasn't slow paced, thankfully. It was kind of fast paced, which I'm not really used to with Abyss, knowing how big he is. He's not really all that flexible, but he was in this match, unfortunately. But it was an average match at best. Nothing really all too special happened, except for Rosemary coming out and doing that thing again with Bram. This time not kissing, but just teasing, touching him and such. Which makes me wonder, are they teasing a Rosemary split? Looks like they're going that direction. It would be really interesting to see them do that. Rosemary being kind of tired of being this freak show or whatever, and becomes the girl of Bram, I don't know, but it looks like they're going that direction, so we'll have to fucking see. I also hope they do. Although if she were to split, that would kind of take things away from the whole decade DK faction, because Rosemary actually is what actually makes DK. She's kind of what makes this whole faction work, you know. After that, we had another match, a four-way knockouts match with Jade, Marty Bell, AK-47, Alison Kay, and Gail Kim. This was another fast-paced match. I thought Marty Bell was a lot better in this match than she was in her previous matches. She definitely showed me a lot more this time, and so I really appreciate that. But Jade was the whole girl in this match, definitely. As far as Gail Kim goes, I'm at a part where I honestly don't want to see Gail Kim win anything. She really just needs to like pass the torch about this time, at this moment. Like seriously, do not put the title on Gail Kim for like a long time, or at least a year or 2 years. She has won it. She has won it enough. People are even calling her the John Cena of TNA, which is fucking bullshit. Okay. But ultimately my wife Sienna won, so that to me is still good, I guess. Because I don't want to see her lose, because she's my girl, and of course I'm gonna root for my girl. So, but it was a good match. After that, we have another Matt Hardy segment. This time they're sitting at a food table eating. It's so funny. I haven't said this before, but Rebby has been really good in these segments with her bitchy attitude and such. She has been really, 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 really good. Especially on the microphone when she talks and such, and that I really appreciate that. That she is part of. She's part of this, and that she also makes it work and such. But this segment was another funny one where you had this guy that takes notes from Matt Hardy, and he tells him that what he's gonna do to Jeff and such, and he's like, delete. I mean, come on, how can you not like this character that Jeff Hardy is portraying right now? How can you not? This is pure genius. He's the Einstein of fucking TNA. It's all great. So after that, we have an airing segment with Matt Hardy, Rebby, and Jeff Hardy. Matt tells the fan that their hatred only makes him stronger, which is true, because this guy really doesn't give a shit. You attack him, he will attack you back, and you can see that on Twitter. He talks about how he won the greatest match in pro wrestling history, the Final Deletion, and owns everything that is Hardy. He deleted Jeff, his soul, his spirit, his aura, his essence, everything that made him special. And then he calls out Jeff Hardy, and then says he has determined that Jeff's contract is terminated. Matt also tells Jeff that he's not allowed to wrestle anywhere else, because he might go to New Japan or WWE, which he did mention on Vince McMahon's name, but he didn't literally said Vince McMahon. He kind of said Mick Mahanon or something like that, but of course we knew what he meant. So I'm kind of surprised that he mentioned that, because how stuff like this can be. And he tells Jeff that he's gonna keep him in the impact zone to be his personal mule. And then he keeps on saying what he's gonna do to Jeff, this and that, and then sends him away. So that's basically how this whole segment ended. So yeah, Jeff Hardy gets to be Matt Hardy, his little bitch. I haven't seen this before, but only with an EC3, where Jeff Hardy was EC3's little bitch. But anyways, we'll have to see how this thing. I don't know. So I really don't know, because who's Matt Hardy gonna face now too? Where do they go from there? Are they still going with this whole Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy thing, which it seems like it because Jeff Hardy is Matt's bitch, right? But okay, I get that. But what about Matt Hardy? Where is he going from there now? Who is he gonna face? Is he still going after the world champion? We'll have to see. After that, we have a match with Mike Bennett versus DJC because he attacked him after the match he had, the first match. And backstage, he confronted Mike Bennett, telling him that if he wants to fight, if he has a problem, let's do it in the ring. So that's basically what this is. And once again, this guy he was the I don't know if I should say that he was the whole guy on tonight's show, because he was on a roll tonight. He definitely was, and he even won Mike Bennett. He didn't quite win a clean because they kind of protected him because Mike Bennett was distracted with the other X Division wrestler coming out to stop him from going away and such. So, but still, GJC got the win. Mike Bennett got pinned. And he grabs the microphone, being all pissed, says he's gonna burn the company to the ground and he's not gonna do it alone. Which me and Sharia kinda like predicted it. Kinda asked herself if he's gonna do it alone, if he's gonna bring reinforcements, and apparently he does. After that, we have a segment, Drew Galloway and EC3. I'm not gonna go into full details with this because it's basically it's the same thing with these two at the moment, where the one hit that one and we want the same thing and blah blah blah. So during this whole argument, they started brawling, So that's how the segment ended, which was a really good brawl. Those two really went on each other, like really hard. It was a really good brawl. But yeah, I don't know. Do they have a match next week? I'm pretty sure they will have a match next week. I don't know. It wasn't announced, but I'm sure they will announce it coming week or later on. After that, we have a main event: Lashley versus Eddie Edwards. Now, yesterday I tweeted saying that this match should either end in a disqualification or Eddie Edwards should win, because if you're gonna give the belt to Lashley, then that basically lowers the value of the X Division, because Lashley isn't an X Division wrestler. So it would ruin the whole concept of the X Division, which is why it would be wise if Eddie were to win it. That way he is also champion for the first time. And but yeah, the match did end up in a DQ due to Mike Bennett. And also Moose came out, former Ring of Honor wrestler, for those who don't watch Ring of Honor. But I have a question though. Is he signed, or is it just an appearance? Because they haven't mentioned anything. I'm pretty sure he's signed, or else they wouldn't really make a big deal out of it on Twitter. So because they haven't said anything about last week. Obviously the match with Lashley and Eddie is still on next week in a 6 of steel, said Dixie Carter, but nothing about Moose or such. But I'm pretty sure that at least Lashley maybe is gonna give a promo and talk about Moose, how he interfered and such. So yeah, only then will I know if he really is signed or not. But if he really is signed, then that's fucking great. And it's funny because when I first created and I started this YouTube channel, I think it's my 5th video, I don't know which one, but I have a video where I give a few suggestions on wrestlers that TNA should sign, and Moose, his name was one of the names I brought up. And it's funny because everything I asked for, everything I wanted TNA to do, TNA has been doing so far. TNA has given me what I've been asking for so far, making Jay champion, signing Allison Kay, and now Moose, doing something special with Eli Drake, which they are doing, and a few other stuff. So thank you TNA for doing that, really. Thank you for listening. Of course they haven't watched my reviews, my videos for that, but TNA listens to their fans, unlike the other side. But if Moose really is signed, then you are in for a treat, because this guy does stuff Lashley cannot do, because Moose can do high flying shit and all that. However, if TNA allows him to do so, because it's mainstream wrestling, and I don't know why they do this, but for some reason they always limit these people, these indie wrestlers, their moveset once they go to the mainstream. I don't know why they do that. I don't know what the reason behind that is, but I hope they don't, because Moose really is a good wrestler. Okay, so that about wraps it up with this review. If you've watched last week's review, you will notice that you don't see my face nor Sharia her face, because apparently I don't know what happened, but for some reason in the video her face was the only one that was showing. You could hear me talk, but it wasn't like switching where you see mine, whenever I talk. That wasn't happening, so which is why I had to like do it the way it was done last week. And it would be a little bit odd if you were to only see Sharia her face and not mine when I talk, so that would kind of be a little bit uncomfortable for her, and I honestly don't blame her. So but thank you for watching, hopefully all the way till the end, and I'll see you next week. I hope you enjoyed the show. I know I did. It was a really good show, but we'll have to see what happens next week. TNA has been doing really, really well for 2 straight months now. Ever since that whole broken Matt Hardy thing, ever since Eli Drake got his push. Although they still need to showcase the X division a lot more, I still don't feel like they're really doing a lot with it. So they do definitely need to go back to doing that. But yeah, that's about it. See you guys next week.